Okay, if it's recording or not, like the audio, I don't really care. Listen, I'm gonna have the mic for the effect. Hope everyone is doing well. Wherever I show this, hope you're doing well. Show this too. If it's myself, I'll be doing well, black boy. Um, so I have the camera and the mic out. Something important is gonna be said. So today, if you hear my siblings in the background, relax. I'll go feed them real quick. Okay, the monkeys, anyways. Okay. So today I was scrolling through Cosmos and Arena. I'm trying to just create and do whatever I can really. Um, and also getting used to Cosmos because I don't really be on Cosmos like that. I'm more on like Arena and Pinterest. I'm trying to hop off Pinterest because Pinterest doesn't really give me anything useful except for like overlays and stuff of that nature. Um, and I want to make something, right? I'm just inspired by everything that I'm seeing, and I just want to make things. That's just who I am, right? Whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm getting creatively overstimulated. I go take a walk, and then on that walk, um, when I'm coming back home, I'm thinking, okay, like that's good though. That's very good. That a part of me, not even a part of me, all of me wants to like make stuff and make all sorts of things. Because I'm looking at different like subgenres from like Afro modernism to like indie pop to what I want to do for the vibe, which is like nature core, I guess, and stuff of that nature. No pun intended. Um, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's a good thing that I want to create. It's a good thing that I want to do all of these things because it's a good thing that I want to create. Sorry, I had to pause because of my sister. So then I'm like, okay, how can I create this? And plus, before I was talking to myself and also came across, I guess, stuff on social media, but it's more so from what I journal with myself and something that I'm cultivating, which is like curiosity, right? Um, oh yes, it was also on Instagram where it was like, what is like an emotion that you like to feel, like a good emotion that you feel that you, yeah, what is a good emotion? It was two. What are two good emotions that you like to feel that are good emotions, and how can I guess keep feeling those things, and not on something like addiction, like oh I feel high, so I'm gonna keep doing drugs. That's a good system. No, not like that. In terms of oh I feel happy, I feel joyful, I feel um free, liberated, whatever it is, because I play football. So play more football. You know, explore that more. So one thing that I think not only do I like, but is also who I'm becoming is someone that is curious, right? Always wanting to learn, always wanting to grow. Curiosity is a big part of who I am, and for some time I don't think I shed enough light on that. Um, I kind of looked at it as a bad thing because curiosity got me into something that I don't really like about myself. If that makes sense. Like not about me, but vices and things of that nature that are like kind of dealt with now or managed, which I'm grateful for. But curiosity is a good thing. It's a big thing, right? Always learning, always wanting to learn. So how can I create, I guess, a system that encourages curiosity, where I'm creating without always feeling, well, not without not without feeling overstimulated creatively, and without having to like overcompensate and wanting to be something that I'm not, things of that nature, right? So I was just journaling now and I came up with the model called the creative nomad, just off the dome, right? So I don't bear with me if it's not pinpoint explicitly accurate with what a nomad is, but from what I understand a nomad to be, which is a, I guess, someone that travels from place to place, doesn't really like stay in one place for too long. Um, just somewhat of an explorer, right? Wherever the grass is greener and more fertile is where I'm going to take my cows and my animals to go and feast on that land type beat. Um, so I like to think the same way. There's so many genres and things that I'm interested in. I don't know if I stated it in this video or the last video that I just recorded and I deleted. But there's so many things that I want to do and understand and know because I see myself in a lot of these things from indie pop to Afro modernism, blah 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 blah. And I want to understand these things and I want to create things within that like aesthetic of that look, but obviously applying, the values which I'm going to talk about now, four creative values that I think are going to be very important with how I develop as a creative, so that I'm not just like taking things and putting them in one block. Yeah, so I'm not creating things and just putting them together and hoping the best, right? I don't want that. Even though it has worked for me in terms of like the style that I want to gravitate towards, and now I'm gonna like polish it. Like when you're doing pottery and stuff, you put the clay together and then you mold it. I'm happy that I put the clay together and now I'm like molding it and shaping it, right? And that's another thing. It's not to say that I wanna copy other people's styles or be something that I'm not. It's more so like, as I said, understanding subgenres and cultures and their visual language and partaking in it for my own, for mine, and I guess the people around me for their like creative expression sakes, if that makes sense. Yeah. So the four values: uh, rebellion, innovation, curiosity, community. So these four things are the four characteristics that I have recognized as a common thread between all the art slash design movements that I've come across from high school all the way up to tertiary, right? There's always an aspect of these four things. Rebellion, as I said, defying against the system and a way of thinking, looking at it and being like, this doesn't quite accommodate me or a group of people. Innovation, and going against that, of course, innovation, thinking outside the box, thinking about things that people have not really thought about and bringing them into your creation, right? Curiosity, always looking deeper, always looking at why things are what, who, where, blah, 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 blah. Having that always wanting to learn type of spirit. And then community, having a good set of people around you so that, you're not in your own type of like echo chamber, just talking to yourself back and forth. People who are going to critique your work, people who are going to uplift your work, things of that nature. Now, yeah, as I said, I think these four values are going to be very important with how I tackle creative projects, just projects and making things. I hate saying projects like it's an assessment. I hate it. But just making stuff. Um, those four things are gonna be quite important. It's also gonna allow me to like focus and hone in, as I said, like if I want to understand indie pop and that aesthetic more and more, I can focus on that instead of like already thinking about like how I'm gonna innovate and bring this and then pull that and you know like relax. You can't, cause the way that I want to describe it, it kind of sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but let's go back to what I was saying earlier today when I'm scrolling through Cosmos. I find that it's so easy for Cosmos is an amazing app. It's an amazing website, sorry. Arena is amazing. Like just beautiful, creative executions, raw or well done, whatever it is. It's just great, you know. But I find myself, it's so easy to save and click and connect things to one another, even when those things don't really make sense. So now I'm thinking, I'm looking at one image and just how my brain works. I'm looking at one image. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of this image. And that image reminds me of that image. If I put it together, it made this. And it doesn't really allow me to understand things more, if that makes sense. Instead, I want to be like, okay, this is one image. What is this image? Why is this image? How is the composition like speaking to communicate a certain message? Which then obviously would be like the principle of that genre in which it stays in. Like for instance, like maybe indie pop, the idea of having that like blurry haze, dehazed effect is like that live footage, like capturing the moment type of aesthetic is symbolizes, I guess, just the need to like of that like raw authenticity or something like that. Like they need to just be who you are and come as you are within any moment, you know, of you living, I guess, something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, that's cool. You get to know it more, get to learn it more, and then you think about, okay, how can I innovate? How can I bridge it with me being the bridge, if that makes sense? If my experience is being the bridge, or I don't know, maybe working for a brand, or you're communicating a theme, whatever it is, whatever the thing that you want to do is, you know, you set out to do that, if that makes sense. I want to understand things before I just create and make stuff and put things together. If then I find, okay, this matches this, I know both of these entities really well, and now I know how to tie things together and innovate. I make the thing, then I show the thing to people who understand also those two things, or understand what I'm trying to do with those things. Then you just create something really nice. You create something that other people can now see themselves in. Other people like you that can see themselves in things like indie pop. I don't think I was actually looking for it at Cosmos today, and I was looking at hiking. Like I searched alternative hiking, ooh, whatever, so that I can get images that are like of hikers and people hiking, but the edgy type of like aesthetic and look with these photos and whatnot. Just not just people walking, right? And I saw that it's a lot of white people. It's only white people actually. And maybe that's me having to go look at the history of things, blah 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 blah, and you know, whatever it is. But I'm just like, damn, like niggas don't like hiking. Why? Niggas don't like hiking. I have like insight about that, which I'm not gonna talk about now. But like, there's literally only like one image I found of someone hiking. I literally had to search like black people in nature, right? Um, so it's like that's a point of innovation, or that's like a you know. But I need to understand that more instead of now jumping into conclusions, you know, and like looking at, okay, what does this movement actually say? Blah 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 blah. People are like disturbing me, man. But let me end it off here so that I can go eat. I've already had 3 people knock on my door telling me it's time to eat. Um, but yeah, bro. And I also just to conclude, when I'm walking back home, I'm just like thinking about like who I am as a person, and the fact that I'm just not bound to one medium or one way of looking at things. And I just want to like embrace that about myself, that I'm not tied to anything really, if that makes sense. Like maybe for some people that's crazy to say, you know, but I'm not, my identity, who I am, I don't think is really tied to anything or anyone. Obviously, living in this world, you're a black man, that comes with its implications. You're a man, that comes with its implications. You're a South African, that comes with these implications, whatever it is. I understand that. And I'm willing to accept. And I am accepting about who I am and whatnot. But just my worldview and the way that I want to now curate my output and the person that I want to become is not bound to anything. I'll be so honest with you. Like free spirit, love, connection, beauty with everything and anything is really what I strive for. So it's going to reflect in my design project. You might see me doing alternative rock music one day. The next day, I'm doing ballerina photography or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna end it at that. Cool. Thank you for listening. I might actually post this on YouTube. There's been a resurgence of this like people talking to the camera, ugly ass webcam, hazy effect, whatever. I might post this and then posted this. You'll see how I'll be YouTube famous.